Okay, now, people, it is the special episode of Up Inside Your Podcast. Remember, we told you guys that we coming back November the 26th to air a special episode because we wanted to ensure that we're going to get some kind of content in the month of November for independence at least. And don't forget, we are not going to be coming to you live for the entire month of December because we know everybody want to get into the Christmas spirit.
Correct.
Nobody ain't really gotten us our time to really check the podcast out because we all reeling from COVID still, and we want to have a joyous time in the month of December as much as possible. But also, we want it to be as safe as possible. So always remember when you're heading out, carry a mask, keep it in your bag, keep it in your pocket, wherever you may go, because the slightest mistake could push you into the issues that England dealing with right now, Canada dealing with right now, the Americans dealing with right now, and we don't want that for we little space. So make sure that we're always moving with a mask. So with that being said, welcome to the Up Inside Your Podcast. Oh, how you forget what God did, so you're gonna sanitize your hands for you.
Go clean your
You're gonna
hands, man.
sanitize your hands for you. So as I tell one independent special episode here, so we got a real special guest. I
For
got
sure.
introduce him, but I want Keita to talk to the people, let them know who bring in me this beautiful podcast episode
Well, good
before
night,
we get into it.
Good night, again. It's your boy Kita. We're here
Yeah,
with my
man.
dad. We got a special guest, but before we go to that, let's introduce you to our sponsors. To me,
Yeah,
we
man.
big up the sponsors. We big up Seatbelt.
Oh, yes.
Big up Seatbelt in Metro Cups all the time. We big up Alarossi
Yep.
Media Production for sure.
Yep.
Bring this to life.
Yeah, we gotta big them up.
This nice quality to life every week. Big up Barely Soap Entertainment with their big event Entanglements coming December 26th.
I can't wait for that day, so boy. I looking for
Yeah.
all the Up Inside Your Podcast members to be there.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I will be there. When I know it don't come out, so we're gonna come out.
Let's big up Trevor Tony's repairs shop, man,
Yeah.
for sure. Big up
Yeah,
Trevor
we got to big them up.
man. Them men do
Big them up.
it.
And let me tell you, they are getting bigger and bigger because every time I turn around and somebody telling me, "Oh, Chad, what's the number for the fellas that deal with you terrorists and thing?" It telling me that the video getting a lot more momentum, people seeing it, people remembering the title. So we just thankful that everybody sticking to the sponsors and everything. That's very, very
Yeah,
important.
let me large
So-
off as well. Let me large off Trader Cuts Barber Studio.
Yeah,
Big them
Well,
up
big up.
for sure.
Andrew, wherever it is, big up.
Yeah, big up Andrew for sure. Big up me first, mobile massage therapy for sure.
Yeah, man.
When you
Big
talk, you
them
go
up.
for your talk first. Back over to you, Chad.
Yeah, man, respect all the time. So yet again, we want to say thank you to our timely sponsors for always giving us the opportunity to come to you guys, bring you quality content, bring you quality video. And before, well, I ain't putting it off no longer. Let me get into this man called Gibbzydan, right? Because he's the
Gibbzydan.
biggest man in the land since Georgie Porgy.
Yeah.
This young
For
man
sure.
has a plethora of music. He has 2 studio albums also, but that was when he was a part of a group.
Done.
But no, we got introduced them to the solo artist Gibbzydan
Gibbzydan.
now. And I bet you some of these people know some of his songs. You understand? Like we know about Unhornable, we know about Van Days, which recently came out. We gonna talk about that. So I want bigger the one of the most electric performers that I have seen, Gibbzydan. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Up
Welcome
Inside
to
Your
the
brother.
show, bro.
Welcome, my
to the
brother. Talk to me, man. If there was anything that I left out that you want to put in towards your name, 'cause I want to keep putting respect on your name. If we can make sure that the Barbadian community puts some respect on Gibbzydan there. Pretty going on?
Nah, man, I think that was a fantastic introduction. When I could hear and see me go, right?
Yeah. We got you.
brother.
Yeah, man. That introduction was decent, man. For real, especially coming from people that know you already and stuff.
Right.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure and a joy to be here because when I know most Thursday nights, I just log in, even if it's just for a half hour or 20 minutes, talk
Yeah,
some foolishness, count some ones, count some emoji.
Right.
So I's a big fan of Up Inside You, man.
For sure,
So it's a
for
pleasure
Yeah,
to
we
be on this
appreciate
platform
that.
tonight. Yeah, man.
be glad to have you. That mean that is a double delight, like by call, man. Because as you said, you are a member of the Up and Say Your podcast. People who come through and link with us every Thursday.
For sure.
You're always a part of the chat. You're always putting up some pretty valid points. And we just appreciate you. So we decided we can show you some appreciation, especially with the momentum that you have currently with the music that you have been releasing. Some
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
we would have known about before. Some is pretty old. Cause how old Unharmable is now?
3 years.
Right, exactly. 3 years old, but still display like if it come out the other day. And then we can talk about Van Days, but I ain't ready to talk about that yet. I want remember there's an independent show, so we can talk a little bit about what's going on in within the culture and society of Barbados right now. Now,
Yeah.
I remember you put out a video just recently talking about how you want raisins and you conkeys, but you don't want the cherries.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah,
you could give me a reason as to why you would eat raisins in a conky but don't eat the cherries, because as far as I'm concerned, all too nasty.
Nah, you talking carrot joint real
So
far.
use a raisin man too, Kita.
Yeah, for sure. If you like
Oh my god.
raisins, raisins are
Oh my
nothing.
yeah.
goodness.
But
Yeah, but
Many how
honestly,
many
right?
this station for more?
I want people to first understand that at the very core, everything this is still all fun and games. Ain't like if people actually looking to beat people for the
Right.
personal choices, right? So
I actually look
when
at
I
these
shop,
people, I actually look at these people. I actually looking at these people. I look at these people. You know what?
But when I shop that,
on a conky or anything.
but
So.
I felt I had to shop put that conky the other day because man, that I didn't want that wrong me, man.
Yeah, that was an interesting use of the skills of the shot put, because I guess a lot of people don't use the shot put method for anything else besides shot put. But it's good good information to see that people are so tight now upon conkeys, because a couple years ago nobody didn't talk about conkeys, nobody didn't really care. You know, like whole nation building such a delicacy to bring a country together. And so much people talking about conkeys, and so much people talking about different things right now. But I seen everything. I seen the conky in the street. I seen the conky rapping bacon.
Oh Lord, we gotta talk about that.
All-star chocolate chips. No. But it's interesting that everybody coming together have an opinion on something like that, about bringing a nation together, which kind of makes me feel, I guess, patriotic somewhat. You know, that one food can set everybody have conversation about. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I could agree. I could agree with that. I like the fact that we be talking about things that are culturally ours. But let me say this: I have a Nigerian cousin who came onto my post when I do my Kermit the Frog impression of the conky, with the raisin being taken out of the conky, and she told me that there is something in Africa that is eaten on a regular basis that resembles the conky. It's actually the conky, but they call it something else. So we're gonna get the name before we get to the end of the show. But this also goes to show us that the traditions of Africa definitely still within our DNA. You know, it's just that we don't know the names and the reasonings behind these things. But the fact that she told me that, it made me feel good, sorry, to be like, yeah, this is Bajan, but actually it is African. You know, so that's a beautiful thing within itself.
Africa is where, I guess, everybody start from. And speaking of start from, Gibzo, let me start where you start from. No, we go back to the start. Gibzo, so talk to me a little about Gibbzydan, like when you realized that you were the artist, Gibbzydan, the artist, like where it all started.
Well, as I had told one or two people before, I always used to write little rhymes and stuff in the back of my exercise books, but I would never let anybody hear them. But I always felt this need to write my own lyrics because, you know, back in the day, people would make up songs like Batman flying through the air, Batman lost the underwear, and all these things.
Nostalgia.
Or Jingle Bells, Batman smells, Robin lay an egg. You know, these are things that everybody used to sing. But I never really used to feel like singing other things other people write was my thing. So I used to write my own stuff. It was just an independent sort of creative way I was, right? And I used to write the things in the back of the exercise books, and eventually, Davey was at school, and we had a board because we was in some sort of, I think it was some sort of boring thing where all the students was assembling in school hall, and it was presenting scientifically, but nobody didn't pay attention, and I just start dropping little rhymes and stuff like that. That had some girls sitting down in front of me on a bench. They started to look back and giggle. But I used to argue, like, be honest.
So the girls course on you.
Yeah, the girls started, honestly, right, from the very beginning, the girls always used to give me forward because it would have started with me and Dottie. We was the first two people to really start Osman, I think. And we used to write songs that I figured that girls would be upset about because of the subject matter. But when the girls hear it, the girls will get on bad. I'm going to get more girls and bring them back to hear this tune. I hope sing that again. So the girls co-signed me from the very beginning, man.
Well, that's something else.
Yeah, man.
Well, so that means that you was writing lyrics in them books that says if he's ready to offer you drugs, he's ready to see you die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Them books, yeah. With
Yeah.
skeletons for the back.
Yeah. Skeletons like back. Yeah,
But let me ask you this. Let me fast forward a little bit now. Because you're speaking about the beginning. Where exactly in your life did you recognize or realize that music was where you knew that was you calling? You know what I mean? Like you know this is the thing that you're supposed to do. Like, hold got some fellas out there that naturally be gifted with carpentry or accounting or whatever. When was the time that you feel that click inside of you to say, well, music is where I can belong for the rest of my life?
Probably like I was still late secondary school, early BCC around that time because I always had compulsion to be great at something. But everything that I tried, I was just decent. Like I was never exceptional. So like I used to run track for Colmere and I was like the fourth fastest person or the third fastest person at best. There was always at least 2 or 3 people faster than me every time I move up a division. Right? So I was never exceptional in the track. That is not what I was known for. And then I moved over to football in like my last year at school. And I had to learn how to play football from scratch. So that ain't gonna happen either. But the one thing that I used to stand apart from everybody else in was when I started to spit down lyrics. And that's what showed me that I got to be on the right track because that was the thing now that I was known for at school. And by the time I left Colmere and I went UCC and stuff, that was the thing that used to separate me from the herd. So that was when I knew, all right.
So that was you writing lyrics? Or are we talking about freestyling now? Or both?
Everything.
Okay.
That point, no, I was saying at Colmere that had times here we would literally like just go all around Barbados, just dropping things for people. Like we would have hockey festival because the real girls would be up there. We would have hockey festival. We dropped some tunes for the girls up there. They'll love it. We dropped tunes for ZR Van's live. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That time, like you in the van with men from Louis Lynch, other schools, and you start dropping those. I know, men slapping at the top of the van.
Yeah.
Men telling the driver, "Big man, pull up, stop this van. Let me jump over here." Right? You understand? So, for the time you see that, you gain that sort of reaction from people everywhere you go. You know that you're on the right track.
So at that point, you were coming through school, just coming out the end of Colmere, BCC. You were part of the group Osman, and I guess you guys did some pretty big things throughout that period of time because that was a well-known name in Barbados at some point during that period. Everybody knew or heard of the group Osman. You guys did accomplish a lot on the Osman, as Chad would have mentioned in the prelude. That Osman was the recipient of, I guess, 2 studio albums, one a mixtape, one an album, really. You guys, I've heard you guys on radio stations and stuff before, and interviews, and I've heard your music and stuff on radio. So I know at the moment you are branching off into your own artists from outside of Osman. When would you say that you branched off into your own art? Around what year or what period you branched off into your own artist?
Well, my first solo song ever was Vandes.
Big up Vandes.
That was in 2017.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget that Unharnable
I
is
had
you
never done
and
anything that. Yeah. Two of them released within months of each other in 2017.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the first time I decided to do something as a solo act while still being inside the group. But by then, Asma was just two people, so it wasn't as strange because it was just me and Yvonne at that point in time. So, as Yvonne is a super producer,
yeah, for sure.
I told him that I had this idea for Sony Vandes. He met the beat, I laced the lyrics, and we put it out. So I always knew I wanted to do a music video, but I didn't know when I was going to find the time and funds to get that done. I always knew it was in the cards somewhere. So yeah, so 2017 is the first time I decided to do something by myself.
All right, so let me ask you this now. You mentioned wanting to excel in something and not be the second best or the third best or the fourth best. So you decided no, music was where you belong. No, they got a lot of what we would call quote unquote household names in Barbados but they are a particular category or a particular genre. Do you put yourself next to these people in terms of skill, or do you just look at what it is that you doing, what you looking to put out, and that is so basically use your own competition, your only competition. But it's time for you to talk to the people playing, you know, don't be all politically correct and think if you feel you're the best, say you're the best. So talk the thing. Tell me how you feeling. You Gibbzydan the artist and doing Gibbs the individual. Tell me how you feeling.
They got a lot of talented people in Barbados. I know I am among those talented people. They got songs that other artists put out that I wish I had put out. So I still got a lot of respect for other artists. I know my capabilities and stuff, but they got a difference between being talented and being great in a lot of ways, right? Because somebody have something you don't have. Like I had to learn how to write courses and stuff like that because that wasn't my strong point. So as much as I would say that I the best at lyrics, my area might be something else that somebody else would have. So it's real important to be humble and to be self-aware and look at yourself as objectively as possibly can and keep people wrong in that. To be honest with you, that's very important because a lot of people ain't got that. And you just know when you're getting better and you just know when you're rising to new levels and stuff like that. But for me right now, my main priority is to make music that Bajans enjoy. Because I had a lot of time as my writing lyrics, stringing together all kind of metaphors and similes and literary devices and mashing up lyrics, right? So I knew that when it came to the lyrics thing, Asma was pretty much untouchable. But when Lead Pipe come and drop sometimes now and mash up the whole of the Caribbean, you got to look at that too.
Right. I understand where you're coming from, but I can say right. But you see, them sort of songs are songs that are going to be seasonal, because something like Breathe can only operate in a fete, in a party, in a crop over session. That's gonna be a song that I'll play forever, just like the guy that the last year for Carnival, last time I played Mass, me and the woman at the trailer church. So you gonna only remember them songs around the crop over season. But great songs are great songs regardless, and them is played year round. So with that being said, I can understand where you're coming from, but I can also plug this and say to you, I recall when I first met you, when the second one album was being promoted, and you guys were in the wait to call back then. No, I can't remember where the shipping. And I told you that night that I was watching the performances, and when your verse are coming on, you talk to me. Because I'm a man that I like music real bad, and I like everything that surrounds music, from the idea of a song to the writing of the lyrics to the arranging to all of them things I love, which is gonna lead me to another question for you. But I am saying that most people that just like to hear the finished product and they misjudge it based off of how it makes, how it produces, whatever the case may be. But I used to tell you all the time that Asma has something that is so important for Barbados, which is an indigenous feel. I never felt as if y'all were trying to emulate Americans or emulate any other type of individual like Jamaicans or Trinis or whatever. I always told you that that Barbados sometimes does not know what is good for it because we don't like what we just produce. We like what everybody else sounding like and that sort of thing. But then when you do a song your own way and you put it out there in the world and it's so different, people are gonna be compelled to listen to it because it's like, are I hearing the accent of American in this person that's Caribbean voice that is played out, that is cliche. I hearing this body sound like a Jamaican, blah blah blah. So there was something about the way how Asma used to piece together songs. I want the lyrics, I want a wordplay that I could relate to it. Because when a man in Atlanta talk about what it is like a trap house and think, I know shit all about trap houses. But when you and everybody else come together and write a song about Van Diaz or write a song about Hornable or I can't call some of the names because you know they're going little curse words and things. The ones that I like the most, it's like I can relate to that. So what I can come back to know is when you are writing, when an idea pops in your head and when you go to write, do you find solace within that? Do you find a calming space that, oh, I love writing. I love when I putting down the ideas. I love when I know God put the song to record it when Devon gonna mix it cause Devon is your producer, right? At this point in time.
Nah, right now I working with Noise Boys. Noise
Okay.
Boys is who I was working with for the
Okay.
last year now.
All right, cool.
Large
So
off one is
whenever
the Noise
that
Boys.
process, yeah, large off the Noise Boys. My question is, right, the entire process behind being an artist from inception to creation to putting out and then eventually performing, do you find calm, solace? Do you find peace? Do you find, or you be stressed out at certain areas of the creation process? I want to know that there so about you.
All right, look, I want to go back to something you said earlier first, and then I come back for it. It's because you know me, you obviously had enough conversations about this before. Every time when you said that, the first time you see me on stage, I speak to you, I laugh because I had lost my voice that night, so I wasn't able to really talk properly. Furthermore, sing. That's the only time in my life that I ever lost my voice, you know. But one of the biggest nights of the whole time, my voice went the same morning. And somehow, by some miracle, and this is why I believe in higher powers and stuff, right? Somehow, I was able to get back just enough of my voice to make it through that night. And as soon as the last note played from the last instrument, when the men shut off the show,
voice went again.
Voice gone again. And that's when I tell myself, I built for this here, so boy. But in terms of the whole creative process, honestly, every time I start a new song, it's like when you open Microsoft Word and you just open a new blank document, all you're seeing is a white space and a cursor. And it's be like, shh, process it again. I mean, I think a part of me just be worried that your talent is something that could be bleak and it's a non-renewable resource. So I just wonder, like, if every time you write a song and put your talent out there, if it's depleting your reservoir, if it's something that can't get replenished after a certain time. So that is just how my mind works. But sometimes starting a new song just be exciting because you got to get real excited to start on, you rush home, you sit down and you start to write. Other times, I had times where I wasn't as excited about certain things because there's got times when you make songs for strategic reasons too. There are times that Asma we had to make songs to establish people. So like a man saying you a beat, I'm like, yo fellas, there's a beat I met here, so I want one of it. You might not love the beat, understand that there's got opportunity here now to do some business and establish a connection with the producer. So you can do something. But I love it in its purest form when I write in something that is organic from my own brain that I excite, and I just start to, like, a good example, on Hornable. To this day, on Hornable is the most fun I ever had writing anything. In terms of the idea hit me, because we had get sent a beat by a producer, and Stiffy was from the beat. So I thought that was opportunity too, because we was never from the same beat as Stiffy. So Stiffy was singing about Diagering, so I was like, all right, if he's singing about Diagering, let me sing about something different. That's something that alone. Benjamin don't really sing about that story.
Right.
We know this do it. They talk about it. But they already in the songs about it. So I said, so I can make a song about he has a women here. So I start to write. Sometimes the lyrics is like a water. It's just like cascading. Other times you just gotta pull for certain things, but this was one of the times where it just splash up on the page. And that song that's right fairly fast. I ain't like you. And I remember calling Devon and like he hear it and he was in stitches. So I knew alright, I got something here. Plus there's no way you write that. There's no way you write something that people are gonna like. I been doing this long enough that I know when I write something that proper. So I knew a Horrible was gonna hit hard. You know what I'm saying? So that's a live example of what you're talking about in terms of the process and the recording process. Honestly, recording is not one of my favorite things because recording is a different animal altogether. Because I'm the man that like to move out. When you're recording, unless you in a setup where you're free to move up with like an omnidirectional microphone or something.
Just being a thing space.
Stationary thing.
Yeah.
You gotta go on your headset and you gotta make sure you stamp on the beat, do everything you're supposed to do. And you do a take, you do another take, you do another take. Sometimes you don't get it right, you gotta come back another day and finish it up. That's performing my favorite part because that's be free, open, and you're back. I just feed off of people. So recording ain't really my favorite part of the process, but it's necessary. And I have fun recording too. But compared to performing,
you find more fun.
I love performing.
We find more joy in performing.
But you gotta record it. You gotta record it great. So
yeah, you gotta record it for it to perform. Yeah, people gotta get to know it.
It's with people to like give feedback from people and wanting to comment with messages. Big man, I love that song, and you get to tell them all thanks, I appreciate it. That is the best part. The gratification of interacting.
Because me and Chad, a lot of people don't know me and Chad were part of the video. That was actually a lot.
You sure that they may know? You sure that they may know? I feel they're gone. No.
Well, so much people call me, right? So much people call me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
For me, that don't take away anything from me. It's all I love it. It's all fun again. And just from being part of that video, even the experience in shooting the video itself.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun,
man. And just to sit down and like internalize the lyrics while shooting the video.
Right.
It was interesting. There's not a lot of people that out there that like to speak on these topics. You know, when people usually only speak on these topics in calypso and like social commentary and that sort of thing. But for like a younger person or a person that is, I guess, what we would derive as relevant, right? To speak on an issue like that, or speaking on the issue of catching Zeta or minivan during non-peak hours or any odd hours is an issue. Yet we don't actually ever speak about it. And the way that you would have been able to like explain a whole van ride, tell a story about a whole van ride, and how difficult it is to catch a van that period of time is very unique and interesting. I have never heard another artist even like come close to touching on top of like that. What pushed you to write that song or make that song?
Well, one of my first songs I ever let anybody hear was a song named Mechanic. So it just kind of harken back to that. This when I was in like full form. The first real like feature length song that I write quite had 3 verses and everything. Mechanic was this driver that used to drive this van from Road 6 Road, which is past right behind Comer. And I was notorious for doing all the things he didn't supposed to do. The loud music, the cradling, going the van too full with people, all girls saying up for the fellas. God knows what they're doing in the back seat. So I had write a song.
So good times.
Mechanic. Yeah. And I had write a song as a tribute to Mechanic, and everybody loved that song. And right at 14 years old. So when I get older now, like BCC time, I had written it over as a remix. So I had a Mechanic remix now. So people would keep asking me to record Mechanic officially because it was never officially recorded as a song. And I had performed it out a few times too. So people keep telling me, man, you got to record Mechanic, big man. That was a classic. I was like, yeah, it's fair. But I tell myself, man, these is lyrics that I write when I was like 14 and 17. And it was mentally, because back then I was all enamored with my life, so it was fun. But as a grown man now,
it was fun,
cable nines. So in fact, I started hate Van Man now. So I tell myself I can't record that song that I wrote when I was a adolescent, you know.
Right.
So I say to write my book Vans from the perspective that I am right now. And Van Days was a long time coming because I get do foolishness for Vans throughout my life. Everything that was in our song get do to me. You know, either the van too full and you squeeze up and his madness, or the van too empty and the man want to drag and pick through everybody got and park on the tree and I cook the newspaper and read it. You there say no in the back of the van like this man mad. So based on my experiences and from people pushing me to record on it, I just write a brand new song
Yeah.
to represent where I was at this point in my life, and I call it Van Days.
I can actually attest to that because I've been around long enough to hear people request you to perform mechanic back and forth and over and over, and I'm like, I've heard mechanic probably once or twice in my life. I even seen it on YouTube, but seeing you perform it is also a different kind of works. But that song is a very interesting song, and I can see how interesting it would have been back in the day. When that song when you first started performing that song. But the Van Days compared to Mechanic, it is like literally like a classier version and it's well put together, and I respect it for what it is, man. So big congrats on that one. Since then I've seen you drop some pretty nice tracks. I mean, obviously they still had the tune with Devon on Hornable. Then I've seen up to recently, even in September, I think it was, the 22's Weather, which is a very well played on words and a very well put together and rendition song, touching some real nice topics. I think it was a welcome song given the circumstances with the weather and so on too. So it's interesting.
Know, somebody punked me about that there, so though. Somebody was like, what does 22's weather mean? I was like, you gotta be making sport. You mean you can't pick sense right now? I'll be a girl, you know. I'll be a girl.
I don't think how the arts gives what
that's supposed to be. Everybody this hear that.
He wrote that song, or what is the concept of that song?
Yeah, but I would say this though. Since Van Days came out, Gibbs made a point where that he said he couldn't write a song like that in his adolescence because that's a fun for me, because you know all the way from the same, practically the same age group.
Yeah.
But he's correct because I think that's the same thing where he says, excuse me, there's a difference between talent and greatness, because we just find that they got a lot of linear, shallow, tunnel vision type of artists that will bring out songs that sound so repetitive. The subject matter is not innovative, it's uninventive with the topics. That's why I big up people like Lil Rick, because Lil Rick will come and give us a whole bunch of songs in one season, and none of them do a song alike, none of them about the same subject matter. And he has been doing that consistently for as long as I can remember. So the fact that you spoke about Van Days, which is a something that we can all relate to. I saw a lot of people on Facebook commenting, yeah, I remember this, and then they start talking about their individual stories and experiences, whether it was a good memory or a bad one. Everybody has something to say about it, and you know that would have been a certain age group. Gibbs, you know how many views you got on Facebook, Instagram, whatever the case may be, for Van Days music video and like the 22's weather and so on. You know it, or you just got ballpark figures at this point?
With the Van Days video, let me focus on that because that's exact. But it was getting reaction I was expecting, or you know, in that same region, you know, people can share it, people can like it. Well, this was phenomenal because I think it's because it's a music video to start with. You know,
right?
It's a music
visual, video. Yeah. People like visual.
You already got signed there because it's visual, so they already got nuance there, right? So therefore, rip the song off of my page and put it up on my Facebook page. On one person page, this man name, I cannot remember the man names now. It's two. On one page, it had 29,000 views.
Uh-huh.
Like 900 shares or so.
Uh-huh.
I'm more studying the shares because a view is as simple as you open sign and look at it. View will tell you if the person watched the whole thing or not, right?
True. Very true.
A man sign and stoops and shut it back.
Very.
For somebody to share something, yeah. For somebody to share something, it means that not only the person enjoy it, but they want other people to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so I tell myself, like, 900 times shares because for each share that reaching a whole set of people. Other man page,
Right.
because remember I told one it was two men. On the other man page, it had like 16,000 views, and like some ridiculous amount of shares, like probably like 500 or something. It was madness, honestly. So if you add all the views from them two separate pages plus the shares and the shares that are on actual video, which is 2,009 on YouTube, it's safe to say that at least 70,000 people probably see that.
And that's good. And more than likely, that's not only Barbadian people, that's people throughout the Caribbean and
For sure,
outside.
no. That do some jumping through for sure. You know,
Yeah, man. Because you know, they got a big everywhere.
any place that got van culture would appreciate it. So it's about making songs that people can relate to, man, because it's stuff all the time.
So
One of the reasons why I admire so much.
Okay, sorry about that, Giz. You got a little delay, so forgive me for that. Continue.
No, I was just saying, one of the reasons why I admire Rick so much because Rick got away making songs pretty much about the same thing, but finding an angle that people can relate to. So like when he had that song, I don't want to walk up for you every cent.
Right.
I don't want to walk up for you every cent. That's sign that all of you tell people already.
Yeah.
That's sign that you experience.
I always had a girl that you see, yeah. I just want to get a chance with this thing here.
She might have had a man before, but no, you bought sheep on a cruise, she's single, no, you know. So it's always about finding an angle because there's only son. So it ain't about trying to reinvent the wheel, it's to find an angle that this drive home the point a certain way, right? So Vandes it hit home the point that these bad men do bare foolishness to the road, and he has really suffered at the hands of some of these men.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, as it was a sporty video, people understood my plight. So
yeah, it was sporty body.
It was addressing the issue. Yeah, you're addressing a social issue.
A social issue that people do spend extremely long on Vines in a very passive aggressive tone, where they're the stage where they can't quarrel, they want to quarrel, they don't quarrel, they'll be upset, but they can't really show how upset they are, and it covers a lot. I can tell you that for sure.
But Gibbs, I got a question here, Sophie. Though, does anybody that you would like to work with in the near future know that you are a solo artist? Are there any existing artists out there that you know that you could say, or producers as well, that you would say that you're interested? For me, and I can tell you, well, you know, it's always give my opinion when it's come to things. When I think about your personality, your capability, and what you have outside on your roster currently, I think that you and Lead Pipe will create something that will be real sweet, you know, in terms of in terms of your ability to your way of being on a song, and then his capability or capabilities with his music and his lyrics and his melodies and tones and so on. I think Tour Winner would be the most compatible in a studio coming together with a song, though. Like, just thinking about it.
Because that was the first name I was going to call, because I was always a huge fan of Lead Pipe. And when he brought that song last year for Crop Over that, stick it down, move. I got left so much bumpers confused. You see that here song?
Yeah.
That's not the most famous song, but
is the one that really talked to you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the man switch flows so much inside that song. I don't give stinkers, ha. You look thirsty, drink your wah. Look, let me tell you something, right? He off on that song.
He got that was, but you could tell he had a lot of fun making that song too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and the beat, you see the beat, right? So that I can list producers and I can list artists, but like
Uh-huh.
for sure is a man that I know me, he will
With
fit
gel.
in a studio
Yeah.
situation.
I believe so as well.
Yeah, Mo is a man that I know me and he will have a good time too. Depending on what it is that we tackling. Um, let me see now. Let me post numbers here, cause collaborations. Um, Raylene is a girl that I never know his voice, and she ain't in person. Like she will have fun working for time
Actually,
together.
I've heard her work
Um,
before. She does a great job, actually.
yeah, Raylene is
Yeah, really nice
this
one.
one. And they got Nikita. I don't know if I would. It all depends on the project. Brother Sway one focus on Jabari. Thinking Jabari. I hope again. Um, he's a real talented, and his style is very similar to mine, where he spit in Beijing. So for sure, working with him would be fun. Yes, Sydney watching this here, so I know Sydney asking me to collaborate with him. No, Sydney is not a big known artist, but he's a young come up, looking up to me and stuff like that. And he's always trying to give you gotta do something together. But at some people do something with you too. Producers no. Right. So Dangerous or that's he producing name Dangerous does it.
Yeah, do
a lot of beat.
Yeah,
He met beats like Jones and Walk Up and thing. You know, it's that. So he met the beat for the Rick song, but can you feel it? So he's the one that these RBTs met. I know I would enjoy myself on them. Well, I'm thinking that other producers right now off the top of my head, but I know I can remember them. Probably after we shut off the cameras and stuff. So
that's happened for you. Yeah. But so tell me about the song, because we gotta keep it still independence and everything. You recently released a song called "If You Love Them."
If You Love
Them. Tell me a little bit about that, and also when you done there, tell me about your plans for ending 2020. Because I know you were talking about a Christmas song and these sorts of things. So talk to me a little bit about that there. So I interested to hear what kind of Christmas song you'll come up with, because I don't think that you never did a Christmas song before. I don't think so. I can't recall now. You will go correct me if I'm wrong. But that means that this will be a new step on the ladder that you making. And I like the fact that you're challenging yourself.
Yeah. First and foremost, large off the NCF for the COVID relief grant, because that's how it was able to create its music and make a music video. It's harsh economic times.
Correct. Pandemic. COVID killing people.
Big at the NCF for sure, man.
So
NCF country clutch.
Yeah. I knew that I had to propose a song that would appeal to the NCF set people. And I knew that in my proposal, saying that I want to do a song with Barbados and a Christmas song, they were, let me get this fella a shot. I didn't know what the song was going to be when I had proposed it, but well, that's my job, come up with things, right?
Right.
So If You Love Them was about me because the song, I wanted to call the song National Update at first. Because really and truly what the song is not just a song saying I love Barbados. It's a song kind of addressing a lot of the changes that would have taken place over the years in Barbados.
Yeah.
That become part of the nations now. So like you see that I mentioned how we national dish was cocoa and flying fish. Right. When they play chicken both when he slide, because I feel like the cocoa kind of gone to the window though. I feel like national dish.
Not for me. Not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me.
But
I still is a big lover of the cool boy.
but get where Gibbs came from. A lot of people don't eat
Yeah,
these
yeah, of course.
local.
He's only one out of how much ever tens or thousands
But
that
the
probably still
average
eating cocoa.
person, what he said, that's not the average person just eat rice, macaroni pie, baked chicken. That's
Which is your favorite national dish? Gives macaroni pie or chefette?
No, I don't eat macaroni pie like that. Based on it's flare up my allergies and stuff. I allergic to dairy
Okay.
products. I
I
literally
think
had to
majority of
discipline
black
myself.
people. I think majority of black people allergic to dairy. It's just that we just don't care.
Yeah, man, and yeah, that could do a whole part. My dairy allergy and stuff like that. And how it
Mm.
affects music because I had to distance myself from them things for the sake of making. You understand? If you go back to as my music, if you listen to Hoy's song now, the song back then, you can hear a very huge difference in my tonality because back then it was bare freaking phlegm in my system. So anyhow, so if you love them, it's just is they the state of affairs. I mentioned things like how put it in the sofa. It is even itself in a Wednesday because I thought it was a time where that was a strictly weekend thing. No, it's self in a Wednesday. And I had to make sure I mention that song because I any day when things here to stay. So that was best. The number one contender is Tenders. Because you know, they got people that right after when things Tenders is the biggest Barbados.
Yeah,
come out.
You know, once when these out Tenders coming next.
Yeah, people be teaming things and team tenders would be a whole big debate. Yeah.
Well, it's really and truly amazing the things. Go ahead, Gizzy.
No, I was just saying, it's got more meat, but I prefer how Wingdings taste. So I'm more excited when Wingdings come back.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's essentially what that song was about. Just an update. Yeah, pretty much.
So you already got the Christmas song finished, or it's still in the works right now? You got a title. What was the happenings? Or you don't want to release nothing right this minute?
I can drop some clues. This song gonna shake up some.
I love clues. You know I love clues. You know what I mean? I just watch a lot of Scooby Doo and that sort of thing. I love clues. So you gotta drop some good ones.
But Mizzy, that what coming?
This song
You're remixing it. You're remixing it.
Huh?
You're remixing the Santa Claus coming in from BWA or what?
Gives feature.
This is not a slow bit.
Listen, my favorite Christmas song that is from Barbados is Bumba Song here. That is my favorite all-time Christmas song. There's nothing that has touched that song. Nothing. Not in my book. That's it. So I guess you got a real tall order here. I you know I like your music. I like your songs bad. Well, right now, Bumba the hole in the spot in my heart since I did a little boy.
Hey, listen to me, clues. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Because I know the song you mean. Because Bumba's song for Christmas is a touching song. White Cat is Christmas too. But y'all is right. I don't know if it's me, but after I hear like Christmas music, like just after Christmas, it starts feeling repetitive for me. So they start to like dislike their songs a lot right after Christmas.
Yeah, but that's why. But remember, that's why I mentioned about seasonal, because the only time you hear that Bumba song is when it's Christmas time, and for some reason, I just love it. You know, like how people hate Mariah Carey song now, and how the memes coming out, but Mariah Carey being Undertaker. And when December's come, she's bung up from the dead and all kinds of shit. So
she met millions in December though.
Yeah, millions. I know their royalties gotta be foolish, big man.
Yeah.
But so you were saying. We
listen to clues. We listen to clues, man.
Yeah, let me get my pen.
But right, as I was telling you, this Christmas I'm gonna address a very current issue that's going on in Barbados and I guess throughout the Caribbean right now. You know, the all these blessing circles and things going on. So
Oh shit, no.
Straight
Oh
up.
shit, no. What the? No. What the? No.
so this
Listen.
one gonna shake up the place because
I
they
like
done
it
got some people
already.
that can be very upset.
But you got a title for it already though. You got a locking and title of the song.
I got a type for it. I record the first draft session last week. You guys can probably tomorrow and do it for no. So that's coming up next week.
I was just gonna ask you when is it released? When is it released? Cause the truth is the when not January, when November and then we got another 6 days.
Yeah,
Another 6 days. So
Monday.
so that ending right Monday next week, which is our Independence Day. God bless them on Independence
God
Day.
bless
Know that everybody should know that song. But you understand? So but guys, I really looking forward to this one. I truly, really and truly looking forward to it, and I excited about it. One because you somebody that I is listening to. You one of my artists in Barbados, and also because you stepping outside of your comfort zone, going into a subject matter that you never tackled before. So I looking forward to the Bajanisms, and I looking forward to you inventive nature when it comes to Christmas. So I looking for you to create a staple that next year in 2021 we hearing this song when Christmas season come around, you know. That's what you want.
Well,
Yeah, this honestly I can't. Go get it though.
Oh, so now we're just saying what we're late for us to do is to also to plug into the If You Love Them on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to even listen to the lyrics of the song, and you can actually resonate with a lot of what's going on in that song. And really to look forward, I mean, really do look forward to
Excuse me.
the new song
Yeah.
from Gibbzydan for the Christmas period. We're really looking forward to it because it's interesting to get new Christmas. New Christmas music is not common, put it that way,
Right.
in
True.
Barbados. There's a very slim category when it comes to Christmas music. Um, Especially like you got your Red Plastic Bag, you got your Bumba, you see him, Paul Haynes. That's our songs you hear every year.
And you
And
know thing one gonna be big this toss because he passed away this year too.
who
Hey man,
Yeah.
I hear what to say. Wanna cut him in out.
Kenny Rogers is gonna be this
Oh,
year.
Kenny Rogers. Kenny
Well,
Rogers.
not only Kenny Rogers, you know, I talking about locally like the Christmas shoe song. You know,
Oh,
Smokey Bird.
Smokey. Oh, I
Cause
didn't
don't
hear you was
forget,
cutting in out. You was cutting in
oh,
out.
sorry about that. There. So Smokey Bird has a bit of a staple within the Christmas season too in terms of the
Yeah,
rotation. So I expect that you're gonna hear that a little more as well
yeah,
because of
for
the
sure.
fact that he passed away.
Yeah.
Rest in
But
peace to Smokey Bird.
yeah, rest in peace. Gibbs, you were going into something that's not door before I cut you off, man. But
I try to remember what was getting to know, but
I was mentioning about
let me just say that
yeah.
in terms of this Christmas song, I'm really excited about this because I get always fit for the reaction things gonna go. But I got a core set of people that them reactions is normally be some sort like microcosm example of a bigger cross section of people, right? And basically the reactions I get from in my core sphere of people, if I attempt to gauge the public reception based on how them get on, your problem. Because as I told one I just know, addressing the blessing circles.
Mm.
So topical and controversial for sure.
Right. Well, you know I love
Because
controversy,
most
so
people
that's all good.
yeah, and a lot of people in blessing circles know people get hurt in blessing circles, people get tricked, all kind of things. So
How much money is
I
that they were
decided again.
supposed to get back? Guess how much money was supposed to get?
$8 grand. They were supposed to get $8 grand more.
Ah, Oh shit!
Everybody supposed to get 8 grand.
So people again, this 8 grand or not?
I never actually meet a person actually get the 8 grand. I know people that get the 8 grand, but nobody is never get.
Oh
So
my grace! I just feel for my people here. I just really truly feel for my people
so
with
I know
these
one or two
things.
people that get.
Right. So you was telling me about the ending of the year where you got currently out, the ending of the year, which is the Christmas song that coming through. You got any performances upcoming or 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 because of COVID that kind of slow at this point and you're just looking forward to next year? What you got set up in your mind mentally for next year?
Well, I performed at Bar Cutters in Beckle Road, Cloister Bay Street in the video. So
Uh-huh.
that was a little off.
Yeah, Beckles Road,
So I
right?
performed
Well, yeah,
at
Sands Record Day.
in Beckles one night. So
So
I do
by the
that
time
performance
people,
tomorrow night.
by the time people see this, say that can be yes, it is. So,
True.
That's true.
but,
That's true. I forget. Yeah, right. So on Wednesday, I performing at Bar Cutters.
yeah,
Performances just pop up. People call you and ask you to come places, I think. So who knows where else I'm performing before the end of the year. But I feel like I had a good run between September and December because it was 24s, it was Mondays, it was If You Love Them, and that was a Christmas song. So that is 3 songs in the music video in 3 months. I feel like a man at
Yeah,
doing things.
that's good work. That's good work for Joe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we also gotta
So
say a big thanks to for you inviting me onto that set for Van Days
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I just love to come and express myself in my own way and my own fashion and to be a part of something that gonna be forever etched is important and I like it and I want to always give of my best. But that day was pure vibes.
That was
It
amazing.
was yeah, and I'm really a morning person, but just
Yeah,
the energy of going to meet gigs and meeting other people and
yeah,
and
recording.
shooting the video and recording and you get a little mistake here so you gotta go over again and the whole process was just fun, man. That was one of the best Sundays I had in a little while. We went
yeah,
up and
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah. But I did that when it was available because having one in that video, like for the time I had see one of that morning, because remember I was under some pressure because
True,
Devon
true.
can't get in contact with Devon and thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, man.
I was under some pressure. So when I see one of Karen in the corner, I was like, you know what, this man line,
Yeah.
yeah,
Everything gonna
I
be
can
alright.
enjoy myself for this.
Yeah.
And actually, it went so smooth and it went perfectly to plan because that'd be a disaster. Logistics, shooting the music video, there's so much people with a van
Yeah,
during COVID. But everybody bring the spirits to the set. Our also see Mikey because then was we tourists and to
Yeah.
this day everybody think actual tourists because them do a fantastic job. Large
Yeah.
off
Definitely
Big up
know.
Lucy and
If we didn't
Michael,
know any
man.
better, yeah, if we didn't know any better, sure it was first for real.
It's true.
and that's fantastic. Large off John, the conductor, large off Hypermind.
He is a cool fella, man. I like he for real. He got a good personality. I feel I got more in this life for he than just being a conductor.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man.
Wait,
Yeah,
now you
big up.
say near pugs?
Honestly, the compliment. Wait, who you mean? You
I mean the
talking
fella
about me?
that was the right that was the driver at the point in time when you run with.
That we
Oh,
pick up. I
he's a
can't see.
cool fella, man. Right, so I just glad that everything will work out. Everybody that come, who want to know who it is, thank you so much for
Yeah,
making it
man.
possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
man.
fantastic experience, man.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was
glad I
good
want to
vibes.
spark that out for forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's true,
Yeah,
man. I really and truly enjoy that.
I am available for any more videos though. Just that saying.
Yeah. No. You
Yeah,
should say we are available. We are available.
The next video gonna be crazy, and I can tell one of what I bought off camera. The next video do 96 for sure. So yes.
Are you ready? Are you ready to work, man? Are you ready to work?
Yeah.
But you know, let
Yeah.
me. What I got something that I want we to touch quickly before we go, because time can begin a little bony. This got nothing to do with music actually. I just wanted to know from your perspective, because you're a fella that I like to bounce ideas off of, bounce topics off of. Um, like, how you feel about mental health in terms of men's mental health? You know, we got an inability to show and speak love to one another. What's your thoughts about that? Is so?
Lord, you make it over here. The lot thing is being more because you grow up seeing them and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only when you interact with people that you realize certain things a little messed up, right? A real abrasive and in a lot of cases abusive way of interacting with one another has been even say something like, you a cunt, I see your lungs, man. Like the way always deal with one another, right?
Yeah.
From side of view, it can be fairly the truth. The way always gets one another for things.
Uh-huh.
So Barbados could be a very hard place to grow up if you ain't raised in the culture, because I see people at schools overseas and try to integrate into like the school system, like especially secondary school, and it don't, because them does do things and how we do things real different. So I see people that come into the school system here and try to like impress people with the things that they had. And all the people do is use the things that they had and turn around and diss them. You know what I'm saying? And export at them and things.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of the mental health aspect of things, we gotta get more accustomed to treating each other better and being sincere with friends and we ourselves and expressing positive things too. Like,
Right.
ain't nothing wrong with telling a man, listen, man, I proud of you. Ain't nothing wrong with telling a man, listen, I think you're doing well in life. I draw inspiration from you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you from one black man to the next. You know, I
Right.
respect
Right.
you. You know,
Agreed.
some people find it hard to get comfortable. Some people find it hard to. It's just ain't good. It's always gonna be insult. You know, it's gonna be a put down. You make it sport at somebody all the time. But when it's time to tell a man, it's not good no. Tell you things like, yeah, nah, alright, or you do bad. Them sort of things.
Right. Agreed. Kita,
True.
you got anything you want to add to that there, sir? Or gives you the done? Gives got a little delay like in Iceland or something.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I ain't really got too much to
Normally better, man.
Yeah, I ain't really got too much to add to the commentary Frank gives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we speak on this channel about mental health on a regular basis, and how important it is as men to be there for each other, even more now than ever. I think that we I guess it might have a little to do with how we were raised, or it might have a lot to do with our understanding of what being manly is. But as men, we need to come together and stand firm. And then ain't wrong with telling another man how you feel about them, if they're an inspiration to you, or if you care about them, or if you love them as a friend or whatever. And ain't wrong with telling another man, yo, dog, love you for that, if for sure, or I love you, you're a good friend or whatever. You know, nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? But it's like we put ourselves into the role of it not being manly to tell another man you love them, or you care about them, or you're the inspiration to them, or you're thankful for something they do, man. You might say something, somebody might come and help you big time. You can say yeah, or say it, as opposed to saying thanks, or I appreciate that because I mean a lot. See, you say you know, you gotta let people know. And you'll be surprised that sometimes the person that you tell that to does neither. The person might be battling a lot and still showing on a good face, being a good friend to your what's not, even though they're battling a lot. But you know, thank you, or I appreciate you. You do a lot for me. Love you, dog. And saying like that there, saying as small as that there to that person might mean so much, and it's changed a whole lot in a person. And for me, like, I've had a lot going on in the past couple of weeks with myself personally, friends battling mental problems and so on, and small things like that. It just means so much to a person. So, ain't really much more I gotta say, but I really think that we need to do better as men and speak to each other more and more openly.
I could agree
Yeah,
and
yeah,
retard
I
everything.
can't.
What is
No,
it?
I was just saying because when it was talking, I was studying how like the definition of or type of who a man is has changed a lot over the 50 to 60 years. The saying a lot real soft, no, just calling soy boys and all kind of thing, right? Because more in touch with certain emotions and stuff. I
Yeah.
feel like you can strike a balance. You don't all go all the way the other direction, no, and go from being men that World War II to being men know that
I actually want to pick up your
playing
child from
almost.
school, I think.
Well, I mean, when I get where you're coming from in terms of gender roles and all kind of stuff like that, but I feel like in life, there are a lot of times when you can do two things at the same time.
Right.
You can be a man and still show care for your brothers, your brethren, and stuff like that. You can do both. You ain't got to pick all the time, twice. You could be a loving father and still go out with the boys and drink your drinks and make your sport and thing, but still treat your son or your daughter like them is the center of the universe. Treat your woman so like I feel like people strive to always like counteract the extreme. Sometimes you just got a perfect balance, man.
Mm.
Yeah, indeed.
So
Well, I don't think I need to say anything in that regard, cause for all the time that we've been
yeah,
speaking, I want to know how I feel about men's mental health and how men need to come together more and all that. So, one of men do a pretty good job with that. So I just want to say thank
yeah,
you to Gibbs for coming through and spending the hour with us on this
Yeah, thanks for
independent
taking it with
special
you.
on the Up Inside Your podcast.
Yeah, before
You
you
know
go,
what?
Gibbs, before you go further, Gibbs, where we can find you on social
Oh
media.
yeah, oh yeah. Good work there, Keith. I forgot about that
yeah.
part.
Everything you asked me that, but yeah, I gotta get better at part. Right, gives you that on everything. Gives you down on Facebook. Gibbzydan is on I gives it on Twitter too. I actually about doing the Twitter thing. So
Yeah, so
yeah, man.
Gibbs you
The
down on
longest
Twitter.
time I got get on Twitter too.
Yeah, he on Twitter heavy.
Yeah,
So
man.
Gibbs you
So
down on Twitter, Gibbs you down on Instagram, Gibbs you
YouTube.
down on
Oh shoot, I
Facebook,
forget YouTube.
YouTube, Gibbs you down.
YouTube.
Yeah, so we
So
can probably
everything.
Yeah,
get Ramal
YouTube
to
forward slash
insert
Gibbzydan.
insert the spelling so that everybody will find it because it's Gabbyzyan. Gibbzydan. But we
Yeah.
can hopefully we could get Ramal put the information up on the screen for everybody to see so you could get him. The only other thing that I forget to put in my introduction of you, Gibbs, is a voice talent that you actually have some work out there so in the atmosphere in the realm of voiceover. I forgot to put that part. It only came to me when we were talking. Oh, and the final thing, the name of the conky in Africa is called Moi Moi. Moi. So that's what it's called. Usually it's done by itself, but then I got something called Moi Moi Eleve, which means um well, I guess we were gonna call it a conky in a banana leaf. So eleve is banana leaf or leaves, and moi moi is the name of it in Africa. So I remember that I was supposed to tell one back about that before we ended the show. So with all that being said, we just want to say thank you again
Yeah.
to Gibbzydan. We want to say thank you again to all of the sponsors. Trevor and Tony's mobile tire service, C Bell, Barely Sober Entertainment with that
Wait,
wonderful
hold on, Sean.
Christmas. Yeah,
Hold
talk to
on.
me.
I just want to just Lexo TV for gave me the opportunity to appear from Santana
Right, that's what it
as a
is,
character. That was a big
Santana.
thing to me.
Santana comment with Santana series
Oh,
animated series.
Yeah, Pastor Short and all that.
Yeah,
so
big up Lexo TV,
I never
man.
thought it would end up as a yeah.
So
Uncle,
that is actually a big
reverse it,
one
Uncle
too.
Walter, man. That was my character. Never thought it
You
would
say
end
you,
up.
you never thought you would end up as a puppet, you said?
No, I never thought it would end up from Santana. Big man, come on,
Oh,
man.
oh, oh, oh. Because
Bohemian
you know what,
Santa himself.
I've seen videos of you and puppets and hand puppets and so on. You know, so I just that's
Oh yes.
so yeah. But
Burning Man.
big up that Soul TV for sure.
Man, we got some good
Um,
history for you. Yeah, when you think about it, we got a lot of
yeah,
history. Yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
man.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, man.
But
So
but you was
big up your
But
sponsors,
finish
man.
your thought on. Finish.
Right.
Apologies.
So as I was saying, Trident Scott's Barber Studio,
for sure.
barely sober with the
Uh-huh.
entanglements coming up December 25th. I looking for everybody but there. That boat will be back off. Seabell, big them up.
Uh-huh.
Alorosity Media Productions. Without him, without them, there is no us. And most
That's what I
importantly,
mean.
Trevor and Tony's mobile tire service.
For sure.
Thank you all for constantly being sponsors. And as usual, anyone else that is looking to be who's interested in sponsoring the show, we always willing to have that conversation. Hit us up in the DMs or up inside you. You can find us on YouTube and you can find us on what's the Castbox address? Kita, what is it again? You remember?
So we are up inside there, UPINSIDEYUH. We are on YouTube. We're on Anchor FM, which is the podcast app, and you can also find us on Instagram at Up Inside there. So
Right,
it's Up
Anchor.
Inside there on everything.
That's it. They're up inside
Yeah.
here. So always, as usual, people, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us on this Independence special. We want to wish everybody in Barbados a happy 54th Independence.
Happy
And
54.
and Christmas coming up as well. Try and make sure that when I have a sensible Christmas, remember COVID still going around. Remember we all don't know what's coming next year. Make sure you put yourself in a as decent a financial position as possible. You know, don't go overspending and then you're feeling it. And this ain't a regular Christmas, but you know, usually we are going overspend in December and then you know January to February, March, you know, trying to catch back yourself. But this ain't
Yeah.
the time for that sort of behavior, people.
Yeah.
Let me just
Yeah.
build a vibe off of the energy of what Christmas used to be. Let me get away from the commercial side of things and let me just be thankful for life. You understand?
Yeah.
So enjoy when don't crop over. Enjoy when the independence. Enjoy when the Christmas season. Enjoy the old years. Enjoy the New Year's and be safe out there, people. Love and respect all the time.
Respect for sure, for sure, for sure.